Hello and welcome back to the Dugout podcast. This is episode 18. I'm your host, Alexander Cruikshanks, and today I am only joined by one of my co-hosts, Ethan Barlow. Ethan, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm doing great. A great weekend of football. Some high scoring games. Some great goals. Yeah,
Yeah,
how's yourself?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Excited to talk about the weekend's action. But before we jump into that, we're going to do something we forgot to do the other week. We forgot to speak about Celtic's European action. We covered it very briefly. So we're just going to carve out a bit of time at the start of the recording this week to talk about Malmo versus Rangers on Thursday night. Rangers travelled to Malmo, having never defeated a Swedish team. And the result was they broke that record and they came out 2-0 winners. Ethan, what did you make of Rangers' performance?
Yeah, it was a very good performance. Probably one of the best, if not the best, all season. Really a good, especially in the first half, a really good performance. That good goal comes off the. We spoke in the pre-match about how Malmo would need to be pressured, and Rangers certainly done that off the bat, and they got the goal because of it. They make the mistake, and then Dessers does well, although he probably should score, but then a
Yeah,
good finish by Basrami or
yeah,
Barami.
mistake from Busumelo, the left back, who, for his sake, you would probably hope he would have gone on to have a better game, but spoiler alert, he didn't. Um, he plays it back. Dessers latches on to the ball, shoots. Probably should score, or he should have squared it originally. And but then Barami's there to follow in, and Rangers have an early lead, 56 seconds. And Nadeem Barami only scores early goals, apparently. Fastest goal in the Euro history, and he's the first Rangers player to score in the opening minute of Europe since Gennaro Gattuso. So yeah, that Gattuso, he was all right, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Went
again,
on.
both Italy related as well. Both
Yeah,
goals.
yeah. But Rangers kept the pressure high. Um, on the ball quite a lot, not letting Malmo play. Malmo did score. However, it was ruled out for a clear offside. I have no arguments with this one, Ethan.
No, not clear, pretty clear.
Yeah, that was about the only thing KS Tallinn did throughout the game. He was anonymous. John Suter was excellent. Uh, I feel like he's really coming on to a game. However, it was a really positive performance, but Rangers need to finish their chances. They come to Václav Cherny. Brilliant build up. Dessers with a beautiful layoff to Berami, who finds Cherny, and it wasn't the last time Berami found a player and he didn't manage to finish it off. Berami was excellent the whole game. Cherny in on goal, and he tries to find the corner and he misses really poorly.
Yeah, yeah. Especially as I said in that first half, the amount of chances Rangers had for like an away European day, it was a really dominant performance. And as we said about Celtic last week, probably an easier game to start off both for Celtic and Rangers European campaigns. But when the challenges get tougher, the kind of chances will need to be taken against the likes of Leon, who obviously Rangers play later in the week.
Yeah, it probably was an easier game, and like we said, Rangers probably had to get a win if they wanted to do anything. However, going into the game, it was seen as evenly matched. I was just sort of blown away at how good Rangers were. I haven't seen anything like that all season. Another chance that probably should have been put away. Barami and on goal tries to square it back to Cyril Dessers, who's got Pontus Jansson at his back. I don't know why he just doesn't shoot.
Yeah, maybe too unselfish that time. Yeah, too unselfish. Is just maybe just go alone and the chance goes away.
Yeah,
Yeah, but Rami was very impressive. That's the first time I seen him. He did look very good.
yeah. And that was kind of it for the first half. Second half, Malmo came out guns blazing, piling the pressure on. Rangers weathered the storm and then sort of took back control. Malmo did have a big chance. The captain, Christensen. Probably should have put it away, blasted it over the bar. But yeah, Rangers, they weathered the storm, defended really well. John Souttar again, winning a lot of things. And throughout the whole game, Rangers managed to shut down Malmo so much to the fact that they didn't register a single shot on target.
Yeah, that just shows the intent and the just the dominance really that they can't even get a shot and target at home. Malmo came into it with a lot of words to say, with big confidence, and they didn't deliver at all. And they were second
No,
best in all departments, really.
bit of Twitter banter between the clubs as well. But yeah, I think we spoke about their emphasis of wing play. They couldn't get anything down that left hand side with Casanviro there, who came in for his first start, and great, great full debut.
Yeah, we've obviously thought in the preview that it might be the tried and tested Dujon Sterling, although it's obviously not his natural position. But he gave him his first start, and it was very impressive for his full debut, and especially in Europe.
Yeah, Malmo were sort of targeting that right hand side. Tavernier, maybe his legs are going a bit. However, I feel like he still did a good enough job, kept them out. And then later on in the match, long ball up. Dessers sort of pins the defender. The defender wins the ball. Ross McCausland latches on it, and it's just great from Ross McCausland. The desire to win that. He's got Bussamelo tugging at him, tugging at his shirt, but he can't get a hold of him, and he just rifles it past the goalkeeper off the post and in for 2-0, and that's game over.
Yeah, he does really well to even get a shot away, and it's just a perfect finish, as you said, and off the post, and that just really settles the nerves when it's getting to that squeaky bum time. When it's obviously, no matter how much dominance you have, at 1-0 is always going to be a fragile result, but that kind of puts the nail in Malmo's coffin at that point.
Yeah, a huge European win for Rangers, and they'll be looking to capitalise on it and continue their good form this week. But that's it for the European recap. We'll jump into the SPFL action. We'll start off at Dundee with Dundee versus Aberdeen. Aberdeen continue their win and run in the league, 6 from 6, Ethan. I've asked you this. I think I asked you this last week or the week before, rather. But are Aberdeen in the title race?
No, I think you can have a laugh and a joke about it, but Aberdeen have been ridiculously impressive so far. Obviously, I don't think the weekend was their best performance of the season by any stretch, but they grinded at that win. That's what the good teams do. I know it's cliche, but
Yeah,
they can't stop winning at the moment, and yeah, they must be absolutely full of confidence.
yeah, yeah. They take the early lead through Kevin Nisbet. Kiskinen grabbing the assist. Really good play from him. We'll get to it later on. He had a good game in general, and yeah, it was a good finish from Kevin Nisbet. It looks like he's enjoying life back in Scotland.
Yeah, he started really well. I think that's 3 goals and 4 starts since his return. And yeah, a good play. A wee bit questionable defending from Cometio, I think it was
Yeah,
from Dundee that kind of tried to clear the ball. But yeah, Keskinen was really good for both goals, setting his bit up well, and then took his own goal really well as well.
yeah. His that goal was excellent from him. A great finish from him. A great finish from Kiskinen. He's only 28, but you know. Sorry, that was terrible, terrible.
Oh.
But yeah, great finish from the young lad, and I think that gave them the platform to go on to win because Dundee did come back into it, and Dimitar Mitov in between the sticks did save Aberdeen a few times.
Yeah, they were holding on Aberdeen, but they took their chances. Although they were both off Dundee mistakes, you could say they took their chances and then just sat on the lead. Obviously, Gavin Molly gives away that penalty at the end of the first half, which is a clear penalty. I think a few Dundee players were wanting a red card, but I think because he does make a genuine attempt to play the ball, it's probably the right decision with just the yellow. Simon Murray tucks it away well, but as you said, Dimitar Mitov and that defence hold out for the 3 points.
Yeah, really good for Aberdeen. And if their form continues, the game against Celtic after the international break will be massive.
Yeah,
Um,
that's possible. Sorry, possibly the perfect scenario for um, Aberdeen because Celtic look pretty unstoppable domestically anyway at the moment, and maybe that international break disrupts the rhythm a little bit. A few injured players coming in, and maybe Aberdeen can catch Celtic off guard because at the moment in time, it's Aberdeen won at the weekend at 3 o'clock, and they put pressure on Celtic to go and win at McDermott Park. And that's all that Aberdeen can do up until they
mhm.
obviously go to Celtic Park, which will be a major step up for them.
Yeah, definitely. On to Kilmarnock now, Rugby Park. Maddest game of the weekend.
Possibly. I think there's another contender possibly we'll get onto, but yeah, definitely up there. I mean, topsy turvy game, really a good advertisement for Scottish football.
Yeah. So Dundee United take the lead, and it looks like it's back to same old for Kelly. You know, but on the overall play, it looked like Kelly were the better team, and then the man David Watson with a cracking overhead kick for the equaliser.
Yeah, that's up there for one of the. I think there's a few goal of the week contenders. That's definitely in amongst them. Laurie was telling me it was only his second touch of the match, coming off the bench at half time. Um, yeah, it was a brilliant equaliser.
Yeah, great impact from David Watson, and he gets the second, doesn't he, to put them ahead?
Yeah, yeah, another good goal. I think Matthew Kennedy cannot claim that he's trying to pass that to Watson there. I think it is a shot, but
No, it's definitely not a pass. But
definitely a shot, but it's a
Watson
good run
takes it
from
well.
Watson
Um,
and good finish.
yeah, and then Kilmarnock make it three with Marley Watkins. Like it looked like he really enjoyed that one, and for Kilmarnock fans, it looked like they were heading towards their first 3 points of the season.
Yeah,
However, it wasn't to be, was it?
no, it was a bit of a scramble that goal, but then there would come even more scrambles in the other penalty box. Both Dundee United goals really avoidable, you could say, from a Kilmarnock point of view. The first one, I think the goalkeeper's got to do a lot better. I think it's really poor from O'Hara.
Yeah,
It's a shot that he probably should be saving. He gets a lot on it. Um, but as a good strike from Sibbald.
yeah.
Um, maybe a foul in the build up, but I think it was a clean tackle, and I think VAR got that right. Would you
Uh-huh.
say? Yeah,
Yeah. No, I think VAR got it right. On the face of it, it does look a bit like he snapped into it, but he won the ball cleanly, and good strike from Sybil. But as you said, O'Hara probably should have done better. And then the penalty incident, just I feel like it was just a case of, look, it's last minute. Don't mess up. You're just panicking, scrambling to get it away, or just get your toe on the ball. And Lucas Stevenson's brought down. Um, I think it was it Lucas Stevenson?
yeah, you're right. He was involved in. I think he's
Yeah,
been pretty impressive since
yeah.
they got him.
Basically, well, if you count that, it's basically three assists for him, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's what I was going to say. He's been. I think he's been pretty impressive since coming on loan from Barrow, and he looks like he's a good bit of business from Dundee United to have
Was
recruited
he at
really well.
Liverpool when he was younger, Lucas Stevenson?
It could have been. I'm not too sure. I just know he's on loan from Barrow the now, but
All right,
yeah,
okay.
it was a
But yeah,
definite.
penalty, and Big Ross Graham puts it away. He's having a bit of a goal scoring season himself. And it's 90 plus 9, and Kilmarnock are still waiting on that first League One, unfortunately for them, and unfortunately for our pal Laurie.
Yeah, I think that it's definitely encouraging signs, but at the same time, the defending still, the first goal as well was really poor. To leave Liam out in the middle so open, and then the penalty is poor. The goalkeeping's poor for the second goal, but I'm sure Kilmarnock will turn it round. I'm not yet worrying for Laurie for any relegation trouble yet, but
Yeah,
we'll see.
yeah, we'll see, we'll see. Now on to another side who haven't started as well as they wanted to. Hearts hosted Ross County, and from watching the extended highlights, Hearts dominated the game. You know, I don't know how they didn't score six or seven. Shanklin with a really good few chances, but I think this is might be another one of your goal of the week contenders, Ethan. Ronan Hale with an absolute belter to put Ross County ahead after waves of Hearts pressure.
Yeah, I think I'm debating between a few, but it's just such a beautiful goal. He starts it with the beautiful wee flick round the corner. His captain Connor Randall kind of dilly dallies on it, but he gets it back, and well, that's just a brilliant finish. Uh,
Mm. I don't want to be too harsh with Conor Randall, but every time I see him, he's always like messing something up.
yeah, he done enough there. He done enough.
Yeah.
Him, of course, he is former Liverpool. I think.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, I think he is.
Right.
Uh,
And Hale obviously gets his goal, and it's becoming a good season for Ronan Hale, isn't it?
yeah.
I'm just going to pull it up quickly. Three goals in the league for him this season.
Yep.
He's a bit older than I thought, 26, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Has a good few years under his belt um in the Irish leagues. And yeah, a good goal scorer, and that's what Ross County are getting.
yeah. I think
He's
that might be their key to survival, their attacking play, just get the goals in.
definitely. It was maybe Simon Murray last season, and it might be Ronan Hale this season.
Yeah, definitely. But from there on, though, it was all hearts, all hearts. Shankland hit the bar with a really good effort, actually. It was difficult for him to take, but he did miss a few that he probably should have scored. A header comes to mind where it was just round the post, one on one with the keeper. But in the end, he does get the late equaliser, so Hearts pick up a point. Um, but what I will say, it's still not great, but that game, I think it's revealed positive signs for Hearts. They played well for the first time in weeks.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think that's the major takeaway from the game. Despite it's not a great result, Ross County at home, you're expecting to win that of your hearts, but the way they played, the way they dominated the game, a confident Shankland that's scoring freely, maybe has a hat trick on another day, and it just seemed like it wasn't going to be his day, but he did get that goal, and um,
Maybe
hopefully,
that's the catalyst for him to
yeah, yeah,
kick
hopefully
on.
for Hearts and Scotland, he kicks on now and gets back into that form of last season.
Yeah, definitely. So that was that for the Ross County Hearts game. Um, I think we'll move on to St Johnstone taking on Celtic. Have I missed a 3 o'clocker?
Motherwell St Mirren, I
Oh
think.
yeah, so I have got it here. Sorry. Yeah, Motherwell St Mirren, and I think that's your other contender, is it, Ethan,
Yeah,
for maddest game of the weekend?
yeah, definitely. 3 goals, really good opening goal,
It was a
penalties, two
cracking finish from
penalties,
Phillips.
2 red cards. Yeah, that the game had everything really.
Yeah. So we'll start from the opening goal. Phillips takes it on the spin, in the box. I think it's on the volley as well.
Yeah.
It's a great finish and it's a great start for St Mirren.
Yeah, a really, really great goal. He has no right to score that goal. Takes it one touch to kind of control it, swivels and just volleys it in the corner. It's a really good goal.
Yeah, the goalkeeper was left with no chance.
Yeah, that's he didn't really. He's looked a lot. I think he's looked a lot better this season. Phillips, on loan from Crystal Palace. He was on loan at Aberdeen last season, and he wasn't too impressive. But he seems to be find his feet a lot better under Stephen Robinson.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And then, I think the equaliser comes for a penalty from Lennon Miller. The penalty decision itself, I don't really have an argument with it.
Yeah, he kind of gets caught red-handed, bear hugging. Marcus Fraser bear hugging Dan Casey in the box. But looks at
Yeah,
yeah, that looks like quite a stonewall penalty.
yeah, definitely. And then Miller will grab that equaliser. And then, is it? I've messed up my timeline here. I think it's the red card next, isn't it, for Casey? Uh,
Uh, no. That's in the second half. I think Lennon Miller's second goal
oh
is
right,
first.
okay.
And
I'm having a bit of a stinker here.
and if
Um,
you want and if you want to include Scott Tanzer's first yellow card, which was quite silly, then that comes even before that.
all right, give a chat about that. Give us a chat about Scott Dancer.
Yeah,
His
I
first
don't
yellow.
really know what he's doing. The first yellow card, just off the ball, no need to do it. He gets a yellow card, um, and then we'll get on to the second yellow card when it comes. But
Yeah. So
another good finish by Lennon Miller. Lennon Miller.
he looks like he's really taking the mantle as the main man at Motherwell this season.
Yeah, definitely. 3 goals in his last two. 4 goals this season. He looks really good. He's just
Yeah.
18, remember, as well. So
I think it's safe to say, the big two clubs will be having a look at him. However, right now I don't see a place for him at Celtic.
yeah,
But you know, Rangers I could see a way in for him.
yeah, definitely. I think even seen. You might have seen the praise Andy Halliday had for him. Obviously, his teammate. Um, Andy Halliday said he's the best player he's ever played with at that age, and he said he would walk into the Rangers midfield. So it's quite high praise from Andy Halliday.
I don't know if he'd quite walk in, but he'd definitely have a chance.
Yeah,
But I really high praise from Andy Halliday. Okay, got my timeline not sorted now. Second half begins, 47 minutes, and it's a some save from Dan Casey, isn't it?
yeah. I thought Phillips had a big chance at the end of the first half that I thought he maybe should have done better the header, and then in the second half I thought, oh, he's missed another big chance. But I found out that Dan Casey's made a brilliant diving save.
Do you,
um,
do you think the red card is warranted, or do you think it's an intentional save, or what do you think's
I don't
going on
know.
there?
I don't know. I didn't even see it in real time. It was only after like the red card came out and the highlights and the
Is,
replay
uh,
played actually.
is it because he's denied a clear goal with his hand? Is that what it
Yeah,
is?
but I think we'll get on to something that's maybe similar to that isn't a red card. So it's I don't know. It's maybe a bit harsh, but at the end of the day, the ball is going towards goal and it hits his hand.
Yeah.
So if it's a deliberate handball, which the referee and the VAR obviously think it is, then it's a red card.
Yeah, so St Mirren take the man advantage, not for long. And then Mark O'Hara takes a penalty, and it's not the best penalty, but it's good enough. But it was a great save from Oxborough.
Yeah, I think Mark O'Hara just didn't have the best game at all. I seen in the highlights he gave the ball away and set up a Motherwell attack. And he just really didn't have a great game, and that just summed it up really.
Yeah,
And I think when both of the teams were quite level in the game for the amount of chances they had, maybe even you could argue St Mirren had more chances. I think the difference was Motherwell took their chance from the spot and St Mirren didn't.
yeah. And
That was the
then
difference.
10 minutes later, the man advantage was gone. Scott Tanser gets his second yellow card and is told to leave the field of play. Ethan,
Yeah.
he's had a mare, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's another yellow. It's just a yellow card. It's just what it is. It's just he's late on O'Donnell, and he's always going to get a
I
yellow
think he's
card.
silly to be going in like that though while he's on
Yeah,
beaten.
yeah,
While
definitely.
while your team's behind, but you have the extra man. There's still an opportunity. Like maybe like even though there's not long left in the game, an extra man, you should be taking every chance you get, and the he passes up the opportunity to help his team and flies in kind of stupidly, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a silly tackle, especially it's a silly tackle at any time, but especially when you're on a yellow already,
Yeah. So
then sums it
I
up really for St Mirren.
and that was, there wasn't really much of note for the rest of the game. A few chances in there, but Motherwell get their win and
Yeah,
continue their good form this season.
yeah, yeah. I was just going to say that Motherwell have been brilliant recently. Won the last five of six. The only losses this season have came to the teams above them in the league. Well, the Rangers above them or below them in the league? Above.
Rangers are above them.
Yeah, right.
They're uh,
Okay. I was
they're in
just
third.
clarifying. Aberdeen and Rangers are their only losses this season, so that just shows how impressive they've been. And yeah, they definitely look like they can make a charge for Europe. After some people backed them for bottom spot.
Some people, this guy right here, shocking shout,
Yeah, I
terrible.
know that's awful. That's blunder of the season. That's really bad.
Uh, so that's 3 o'clockers wrapped up. Now on to 5:45. A strange kick-off time, but yes, Celtic travel to Perth to take on a struggling St Johnstone side, and the champions made easy work of St Johnstone, didn't they?
Yeah, yeah, just a brilliant performance again from Celtic. Just they keep on rolling. Had that
Every
wee
goal,
blip.
every goal I thought was excellent. That doesn't
Yep.
happen very often.
No, I know
Um,
all the goals were brilliant. You're right.
um, but we'll just before that we'll talk about another excellent goal that was ruled out. Dyson Maida, beautiful volley from him, but it was ruled out for a foul in the build-up. Austin Trusty sort of stepping across as the St Johnstone man's running. He just runs into his shoulder. I can understand why it was ruled out, but I think it's a bit silly personally.
Yeah, uh, I think Trusty's making a movement that an attacking player would make in that opposition penalty box. The St Johnstone defender, I can't remember who it is. Can't remember who it was, but they were making a strange movement out of the box while trying to defend, and he just runs into Trusty. So there's really not
Yeah,
much Trusty can do.
Trusty's not trying to block him or anything. He's
Yeah,
he's not really even like looking at him. He's just moving to try
yeah,
and make a play for the ball. And it's unfortunate for Maeda because that was a great finish from him. And
yeah.
that's not something you'd normally associate with Dyson Maeda, but it looks like this season he's maybe added a bit of finishing to his game.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people saying that, and it's clear in his play that he's not just someone who's running about like they've got three lungs now. He is adding a bit of quality.
He's running about with 3 lungs and he's scoring goals.
Yeah, exactly that. And that's what he was missing, a wee bit of crossing and just that end product, really that clinical nature he missed in his game, but
Yeah.
started to add it this season.
But before we jump into the full thing, just on Maeda, I saw, speaking of 3 lungs, I saw a clip going about. I just wanted to emphasise it because a lot of people have been talking about it. Celtic 6-0 up, the ball breaks, and Johnson on the break. Maeda runs all the way back from the opposition box, catches up with the guy and tackles him. 6-0 up, barely any time left in the game. That just shows, that the dedication from the squad this season, the heart and the attitude.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. There's no no need to break a bust a gut in the last 5-10 minutes. He's played a solid game. Celtic are 6-0 up. He's got a game on Tuesday night, and he's run about like a headless chicken trying to win the ball back, and it's brilliant. It just epitomises Maeda, epitomises the Celtic team this season.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what
and
you
you
love to see though as a football fan. Like just we love the goals, we love the fancy skills, but when you just see your player just absolutely busting a gut to try and get back, breaking his neck to try and get back and win the ball. Football fans love to see that.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. When every player's playing like that, and when Maeda's playing like that, it's like you have an extra man on the pitch. It's brilliant, and maybe you would hope Brendan Rodgers takes him off a bit earlier to save him uh, for Borussia Dortmund away. But I'm sure he'll be ready to go for that one.
Now on to the game recap, we've sort of covered, the ruled out goal and Maeda's individual brilliance and his recovery ability. But yeah, Celtic take the lead after their goal was ruled out. They take the real lead. Kyogo, with a really good finish from him, past the goalkeeper, and got Celtic off and running. Ethan.
Yeah, yeah, it was a really confident, well taken finish, which you wouldn't expect from Kale going away games recently. Well, not recently. His first away goal since October of last year, which is a
That's
crazy
crazy.
start.
I wouldn't
Couldn't
have thought
believe it
that.
myself when I seen that. But he got two. It's really both of them really good finishes. The first one, it's a good ball by Kuhn, another assist for him. I think he's averaging a goal involvement every half of football he plays, which is quite
Wow.
ridiculous. Um, and a brilliant finish by Kyogo to get Celtic started.
Yeah, and then not long after that, they doubled their lead with an excellent finish from Paulo Bernardo, who looks like he's starting to look like a bargain buy.
Yeah, I think we were all talking about bringing that price down from the 6 million to the 3-4 million range in pre-season, and it looks like a bargain now. He's really sort of stepped up this season. He's off the ball, he looks a lot better. On the ball, he looks a lot better, and he's really given Rio Hatate, pushing Rio Hatate for that third position in the midfield, and he probably is ahead of him to start in Dortmund.
Yeah,
Which not a lot of
do,
people
you
would have seen coming.
think Engels has already got that spot locked down?
Yeah, I think Engels just kind of possesses that kind of. Um, he just kind of looks when he's on the ball. He just looks like he's confident. He just looks kind of a grade above a lot of players. Well, every player in Scotland on the ball. He just kind of looks like an £11 million player. If you know what I'm trying to
Yeah,
say.
I get what you're
Um,
trying to say. Yeah,
I think he is
just
going to. He's going to.
oozes class. Is that what you're
Yeah, he
saying?
is his class. That's the right phrase. Him and McGregor, I think, are locks. Rio Hatate hasn't been. He's been good this season, but he hasn't been great. And Bernardo had some great performances, and I think he'll be favourite to start on Tuesday.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, a really good goal there.
Aye, and then Kyogo gets his second, a really well taken header from him to cross into the box. Bit of a shout for offside, but I think VAR clearly showed he was on.
Yeah, that was a really well worked goal. All the way from Celtic's defensive line. Great
Hmm.
cross from Taylor. Kyogo bends his run really well to get back onside. It looks like he's offside, but turns out he's onside. And it's a great header from him, and to get into the knack of scoring away goals in a perfect time, and hopefully for Celtic can get one on Tuesday.
Yeah, yeah. It looks like maybe he's starting to pick up his goal scoring form again, which will be music to the ears of Celtic fans.
Yeah,
So 3-0 at half time, Celtic go into the second half, pick up where they left off. Callum McGregor with his fourth league goal, I think this is. You know, unprecedented goal scoring form for the captain.
yeah, yeah, definitely. All outside the box as well. I mean, St Johnston, I don't know what they're doing really from the corner, take a
Yeah,
shot, and if you leave McGregor with that space from there, he's going to probably score. Um,
don't know what the
Another assist.
goalkeeper's doing either. Like, was he
Yeah,
unsighted? Do you think, or
yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. He must have been. But another assist for Kuhn. That one, maybe one of the easiest he'll ever get. But yeah, another good goal and just highlights St Johnston's rut that they're in now.
aye, definitely. St Johnstone did get a chance, but Casper Schmeichel made a good save at the near post. I'm surprised. that he isn't, getting starting to get fed up standing in that goal, just watching everything happen. I think he's had the easiest job in the league this season.
Yeah. If he was playing in like the likes of Spain, he'd be catching a good suntan with the amount of saves he's had to make. He's
Yeah.
just
Instead, he's
he's
just
sitting
freezing, standing there
there.
freezing.
You'll be like, oh, hoping that people can give him a bit of work to do and maybe warm him up. But I'm sure he'll be warmed up on Tuesday night because that is probably going to be by far Celtic's biggest test thus far this season.
Yeah, definitely. And Maeda does get his goal. Really good cross from Paulo Bernardo, I believe it was. And he sort of nicks it off of Adam Ida. Looked like he would have scored as well, but good finish from Maeda. And like we said earlier, looks like he's adding finishing to his game.
Yeah, again, very similar to the Kyogo's second goal. Really good ball from the right this time, and a really good header from Maeda. Just takes it off the head of Ida. But Adam Ida obviously does get his goal, which
Yeah, the
possibly.
pick of the bunch, I'd say, from
Yeah, I was just going to say that it's a really good goal. Um, Alex Bailly, got an assist last week, but we didn't convince everyone. I thought he was okay against Falkirk, but he came on at half time for Greg Taylor. I think Greg Taylor might have picked up a knock. I think he should be fine for Dortmund, but Bailly really come on and impressed. He obviously plays it into McCowan, starts the attack. McCowan plays the ball back into him, and a lovely wee flick into Ida. A
who
real
couldn't miss
just
from
classy
there.
goal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Uh,
great. And Adam Ida and enjoying his time. I think about the pressure's sort of been taken off him a little bit with that price tag. Just the fact the team are playing so well, and although he's not starting, he's scoring goals, and it just looks like he's enjoying himself.
Yeah, it's always difficult, is it in any position or especially striker to be a kind of second string, and to just take your chances when they come, and that's exactly what he's doing. He can only do that if he's not starting the games. I know he started last week, obviously in the cup, but he's not starting the games. All he can do is come on and score, and that's what he's doing. And if Kyogo's form dries up and he's not playing as well, then Nida will be in there.
Yeah,
Yeah, he definitely offers something different off the bench and a goal scoring threat as well.
yeah. But yeah, it was all well and good, right? Talking about how good Celtic were because they were excellent. However, I'm off that St Johnstone will, do something this season. I'm off that train because they are terrible, absolutely terrible, and
Yeah,
I think they could be headed for the drop.
yeah. I think I don't know what we were doing with that one. I think we might have
There was
jinxed them.
signs though. There was like, they were decent against Rangers in the cup. Maybe that's not a high bar right now, but they beat Kilmarnock 3-0. They had a good strike force. They did well in the League Cup sort of group stages, and
Right.
but they've just fallen off a cliff. Craig Levine's been sacked, and off the back of that, they've just been battered.
Yeah, definitely. There seems to be no new manager bounce or no interim manager bounce, you could say. And it really doesn't look good for St Johnstone. I think with the quality Hearts and Kilmarnock have, I think you've got to only fancy them to go up. And part out with that, St Johnstone look like one of the worst teams. Could really easily see them going down this season if they don't get their act together. Um,
Definitely.
Worrying times for them.
Very worrying times for the Saints. Now on to the final game of the weekend. Rangers back at Ibrox for the league. I was there myself. It was good to be back in a full house, watching Rangers play. However, the game itself maybe wasn't the prettiest of watches for Rangers fans. Um, Hibs, really went toe to toe with Rangers.
Yeah, they did, and you've got to say, as Hibs probably unlucky not to take anything from the game. Um, Obviously, they have that massive chance, the penalty, but good play overall. They created some good chances, and it's definitely like their Edinburgh counterparts. Although the results not there, it's encouraging signs, and you think with the squad that Hibs have and the amount of signings they've made, it can only come good for them eventually.
Yeah, Hibs were very good. I thought they controlled the midfield quite well. You know, their pace and their energy. They were just not giving Rangers a second to think about things. The right back Miller, thought he was quite good. He just stuck out to me. I don't think they created many clear cut chances, Hibs, but you know there was a few you were kind of like you were nervous. But despite all, I think the first half was probably Rangers were slightly the better side. Second half was definitely all Hibs, apart from little moments. But you know, Rangers get the lead in the first half with my goal of the weekend from Tom Lawrence, absolute stunner.
No, a great goal from Tom Lawrence. I disagree on your goal of the week take, but it is definitely a great goal and a
Should we
goal
start
deserving
doing
in
that
winning
then?
the
Should we
match.
start doing our goal of the weekend, goal of the week? We'll start it right now on episode 18.
Maybe, but well, maybe, but this week's definitely not a great place to start because there's so many goals to pick from. It's actually difficult. I'm sure there'll be weeks where there's so little goals that it's difficult to pick from. But what am I going to go for? Um,
Go for
I'm
Lawrence,
going to go
obviously.
for yeah, a bit of bias there. I want to go for one of the Celtic goals, but
A bit of
no,
bias.
yeah, I'll go for the Celtic sixth goal. Yeah,
What do you mean a bit of bias? That
Adam
goal
Readers.
was
So
incredible.
no, it was fair enough, fair enough. I'll go for
Um,
Adam Readers.
Adam, he does. Okay. Ron Hill, fuming. Similar goal to Lawrence's, but I think
Sorry,
Lawrence's
Ronnie
is
Hill.
that bit better. Just with the dip and
No,
the,
fair enough.
just the way he takes it, skips past two men, bends it into that far corner. Keep car alarm going off outside. Don't know if you heard that, but yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so Rangers take the lead. Nothing really much of note in the first half to go over, except from Hibbs's penalty. Ethan, you alluded to it earlier when with the Dan Casey red card. For me, this is a clear penalty, but I think it's different.
Yeah, yeah, maybe, possibly. I think definitely a penalty. The ball's going towards goal. It hits his hand. Whether he moves his hand towards it or not is well, you can't really know. Um, without asking John Suter, and he obviously that won't get you anywhere. But I think probably the right decision. Just a penalty. Don't like to see players getting sent off. Although Dan Casey did get sent off, but maybe his was a bit more deliberate,
Yeah, I
as
think
Philip
Shooter was
Clement
just
made
trying to
out in his
block it.
post-match.
Yeah, big Phil shot acting it out, squaring up to the press.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
uh, it was yeah, I think it was definitely a penalty. I think the difference is his arm. You know, if it doesn't hit his arm, it hits his face or his shoulder or whatever. And Butland was shaping up to save it, in my opinion. Um, I think
yeah,
it would have been saved. But yeah, Hibs get the penalty, a massive chance, and it's a chance squandered from Mikola. I've called him Max previously, but Mikola Kukarevich, who it was a shocking penalty. Good from Butland to go the right way, but it was a shocking penalty.
yeah. Well, really poor. I mean, at Ibrox, you've got to be scoring penalties, especially if you're a team like Hibs who aren't the highest on confidence, and maybe that's showing in that penalty kick because it was pretty poor.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like that was, looking back on the match, it was a monumental opportunity for Hibs because if they went in at the break level, having just scored a penalty, I don't know if Rangers would have been able to score another. Hibs might have went on and capitalised. So it was massive. Second half, a lot of Hibs chances. Their goalkeeper, I'm not going to get. Is it Bursic? Did I get it?
Bursik, I think. Yeah, that sounds
Yeah,
good.
makes a brilliant save from
Yeah,
Cyril Dessers. Although if you see the freeze frame of it, it looks like he's like standing on the line and headering it. But the way he needs to move back and try and header it back across. So I think he did the right thing, and Bursic made the save. Cracking save from him. But from then on, there wasn't really many chances. Not a lot to speak about in this game.
yeah. I mean, the fact Jack Butland wins man of the match probably tells you the main talking point as penalty save, which ultimately wins Rangers the game.
The
Maybe I just
in-stadium man of the match was actually Jeffrey.
oh,
So
was it? Was it? All
yeah,
right, okay. Well, Sky Sports man of the match, I think, was Jack Butland. But yeah, I think you said about if Hibs score that, then maybe a lot of pressure is on Rangers to go and get that winning goal. But um, maybe Rangers do just sit back and conserve that lead.
but they defended really well. That's six
Yeah,
clean sheets in the last seven now.
yeah,
Which is positive signs. One thing I do just want to draw attention to that is an interesting point. I think about 80 minutes, Tom Lawrence is subbed for Casanviro, and James Tavernier has moved into the midfield. Ethan, do you think that that's something Clement might be trying to do for Tavi's legs going, but he still wants his attacking prowess in the team?
yeah. Well, his best attributes have pretty much always been his real like being able to pick at a pass, he's crossing and going forward, going backwards. He leaves a little bit to be desired, but if you have a strong pool of defenders that you all want to, if you he wants to squeeze all of them in, then maybe moving Tavernier up one to kind of loosen that defensive demand on him, and like use his attacking ability better. Then maybe that is the best way forward. No one's really done it before, I don't think. So it'll be definitely something new and maybe exciting for the Rangers fans.
Yeah, yeah. I think we saw it maybe once or twice under Gio, but it never really came to anything. Obviously, we had Nathan Patterson there at the time, but yeah, I think it could be interesting. It could be good to see because Tavernier, he's done so much for the club, and his numbers speak for themselves. It's just always been that defensive side. Before he could rely on his pace to help him out, but I think he getting on. I think he's coming up for 32 this December. I think his birthday is, and for a fullback, that's sort of their shelf life. Especially for modern fullbacks. So if he can find a way to keep him in the team and keep him playing well, it'll be, because no one wants to see him sort of go out and not get back in and sort of diminish. But I think the attacking, the passing ability, it's all still there. So it would be good to see. Um, but I think that's it there. We'll wrap it up for episode 18. Stay tuned. We're going to have double upload today actually because Celtic go to Dortmund tomorrow. So me and Ethan will have a preview for that game going up. And yeah, if you're watching this, go watch that. If you're here at the end after watching that, thank you for watching on both videos. But yeah, check that out. Check out us on Twitter at Dugout 2024. Thank you all for watching. Goodbye.